Okay guys, we're about to go to market on pound JPY. Let's just flick this over, pull this down, flick it into 5-minute chart. I can see what's going on. It's just come across here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Looks like it's at an entry point as we speak. So let me just drop the first order in. I'm going to target up onto the next level. Drop that in. Right, now I've got the order in, I can start having a little look to see what I'm going to do with said order. Now, what we're looking for, if I just pull this in and then I'll show you something, is here. All right, so it's telling me to buy it. It's not a scalp, so I can trade up to the next level. We are in a bear market, so I've got to be a little bit careful with it, but it's genuinely telling me to buy it. Now, the pound is far stronger than JPY, so that's another sort of tick in the box as to why I might buy. And then when I look at the change of strength, the pound is gathering pace, JP is losing pace. So, where's all this come from? Well, it's very, very simple. Now, let me just quickly drop something on here as well. So 10 times that one, right? Okay. So I'm doing it with the small account as well. I'm just tracking and mirroring. What you've got to remember on this channel, nothing's scripted, everything is live in the moment, and that's what's happening here. Now, this is also a follow-on from what we were doing this morning. Now, as you can see, the guys before 10 o'clock, it's currently 1 minute past 10, they've already been informed what I'm doing, which is here. But we took it a step further, come down the video vault into the market call. This morning, we had a call, and it's all live, which is here, where we all get together, and there's that particular chart being built, talking through what we expect it to achieve, etc. And if we look at it, you should see the scoring system coming into it as well, or at least you will do. Put it on a bit bigger so I can see it a little bit. So have we already done it at that? Oh, there we are. There we go. So the scoring system is coming into place now where we can sort all of this out. Happy days. All right. So that was all done live with the guys, so they know exactly what's going on and what to look for. And I think that's one of the fairest things to do. Now, one of the worst things you can do is just, oh, well, I'm here. Give me a trade. I want it here. And I do see that sometimes with the guys. How do I get in? How do I get in? It doesn't matter when you get in. You get in when you get in. It's that simple. It's what you do before and what you do after, and you're looking for kind of optimum entry points. Now, the levels that I put in, they actually show compression, one thing and another, and as you can see, it's running through. We find the compressions, and then we're just looking to build it up. Now, from here, if I'm looking to read this market, I need to come out quite a ways. So you can see it's pushed down, it's pushed up, it's moved down aggressively, and it's now moving up. So it's actually pulling against this here. So that's the move it's moving against. You can see it was aggressively moving up yesterday. Who's to say that isn't going to continue? Well, there's a couple of things you can look at this. You can grab hold of a fib. You can see it started up there, came down to here. What's happening? Well, that fib is holding above the 50%. Therefore, there's a high probability it'll go on to highest levels. Well, there's the next level, there's the next one, and then back to where it came from. That could take some time. So we're just targeting here in the short term because we're looking for about 18 pips. Okay, drop that down. Let's have a look down here. And then we can start working out how far it can go. Well, from here up to there, that's 14. So, okay. but it's a bounce. So if I know it's going to crash out at about 18, don't really want it to go much further than that. So quite happy. And then all I need to do is figure out where I'm going to stage this. Well, I can stage it backwards. There's a couple of swing points. I've got barriers here and here. And then I've got a swing point down there. So my box of pain is to how far I'm going to let this run. It's probably around this area down here somewhere. And I'll stage down into it and then come back up. Simple process. Works quite well for me. And it pays me. Now, if that only runs straight away without getting any extra orders in, and I get it to there, so what? It means that order 10 times itself, and I'm happy with that. Okay, so that's the premise of the trade. These are just to keep my hand in and show you what I'm up to. Let's play it out. Okay, guys. that trade's now completed. It didn't go anywhere near my box of pay, and it pulled back on itself. But, well, it could have been better. But one of the things with the markets, and it's kind of something I want to touch on just before I switch the screen and everything back on. All the time, I'm asked, where's the in? Where's the in? Where's the in? How do I get in the market? Case in point, I've just redone the bias tool for the guys, put a few extra tweaks into it. And what it'll do is it will kind of help you get into the market a little bit better. However, there isn't no such thing as a perfect entry. If there was, well, we'd all be making a gazillion all the time. What there is what's called perfect management. That's what sets aside a good trader from a bad trader. If you go into a trade willy-nilly, just on a moving average cross or pullback or whatever your criteria happens to be, that's not trading. That's just one tiny part of it. You're trading, and your money is made in how you manage the trade, because you could enter the market anytime you like. Now, as long as you've got 2 points on that chart that you understand, you're fine. And what those 2 points are is your exit criteria for positive and an exit criteria for negative. As long as you understand them, the entry point doesn't really matter. You can get in very close to your exit positive. You can get in very close to your negative. But you will be working between the 2 points. And then you just manage it. That's what DCA is all about, and it's how you see me trade on a regular basis. And from there, you start building up an idea of what you're after in the charts. Then you have to ask yourself a couple of questions. If you know where the bottom is, you're going to get out, and you don't think there's enough upside to pay it off, then is it worth it? Not really. So if it's not worth it, what are you doing it for? Likewise, can I afford it? If you can see where the stop is, you know roughly where your first entry point is. So therefore you can measure between the 2 points, and just to keep numbers easy, say it's 100 pips away and you're on a pound a pip, where you automatically know that costs 100 quid. Well, if you've only got a £300 account, do you really want to put £100 against it? Bit brave if you are, but the answer is no. So half it and say, well, shall I put 50 quid against it at 50p a point? Well, no, because that's still a bit too much. What about 25 quid? It's going to sting a bit, but it's not going to murder it. And it's a small account, so okay, 25 quid. It's a bit keen, but that's 25p a position. And if you still think it's a bit keen, half it again. 12.50. Yeah, I could probably do 12.50 against 300 quid. That means your position size is 12.5 pence or 10 pence if you're on MT5, because it works up in increments of like 0.1. Yeah, okay. And it means today, that's what that trade happened to give you. And what you've done is you've managed your position size into a point that you understand. Hope that kind of makes sense. Anyway, give me a second. I'm going to grab a coffee, and then I'll drop back on the chart, and I'll tell you a little bit about what it was that I was doing.
Well, we're waiting.
There we go. Sorry for that little interlude, but I'm old. I needed a little boys' room, and that might be to do with the fact that I drink too much coffee. And she's laughing her cotton knockers off. And you are, aren't you?
Oh, you
see that? I said cotton knockers, not laughing your little cotton socks off. Because we've gone into the non-woke society of boy and girl. And she's got the knockers. Although I've got bigger ones than she has.
You've got the singing voice. Or not.
Right, go on our Facebook page, Scruffy Trader, and you'll be treated to a concert by myself. That's right, the vocal talents of the Scruff. Yeah.
It was funny.
It wasn't funny. I was enjoying myself. Anyway. I lost my thread now. What were we talking about? Do you know when I lost my thread? When I mentioned your novice.
See, if you weren't
Hmm?
you were concentrating on the trade, you wouldn't get.
Well, I'm concentrating on something else now.
I don't know, you can't remember what you were doing.
I was having a bit of a moment there, boys and girls. Some people would call it a senior moment. I just call it enjoyment. Right, sorry. Right. We shall come back to what we were discussing. Right. First of all, I try to guide this lot as best I can. All right, I genuinely do. And there she is there. Flick that on. There you go. I was having a bit of a sing-song, so there's something to keep you occupied. All right. Well, you've got to do something while you're messing about.
Just totally got off track.
I didn't give a shit, to be honest. I really didn't. Nobody watches these videos anyway. I mean, let's be honest, do for me own entertainment. So, yeah, it's like these things. You give me lightsaber out. Do you want a lightsaber? Sure, a lightsaber fight. Right. So,
You've only got one.
I've waffled on enough, so all the freeloaders and what have you will have sodded off by now. So, bye. And those who enjoy the channel, let's get back into this. Okay. So, bulls and bears. You'll see the guys are working their way through it and one thing or another. And my next job is to jump into sort of DAX, etc. And I'm going to help Darren. All right. So a little salute to you, my kid. So that's what I mean. I'm here all the time. I watch them and I monitor everything. Even when they're quiet, I keep it quiet. My phone will ping and I'll do something for them. And what I do is things like this. Market update, as you saw. I have now completed everything that I was working on today has come in and it's done and it's paid. That include what are you laughing about now? What are you doing with your bloody trousers?
Well, I went downstairs and you've got water everywhere.
Oh, I needed a
And all
shower.
my trousers are wet, so I'm going to have to get changed.
Well, give it a second, boys and girls. I've got to go watch it. I get changed. Right, sorry. That's all done. But they're monitoring exactly the same sheet as I am because it's in here. And I put it in before I go to market so they know what it is before I go to market. And then if we come down into the video vaults and things like that, as you saw earlier, I go live with them and I tell them what I'm doing. Trading is about planning and not showboating, going, hey, I'm in this trade, I'm in that trade and all this sort of thing. No, we did it here. Yesterday, we did it there. We did it the day before. It's constant, okay? Right, sorry. Little bit of a thing. I just wanted to give you a bit of background that they're not willy-nilly. I actually open my mouth before I go to market, which is a damn sight harder than doing it the way you normally see this. Well, I took this trade and it was amazing. I got in here and I got out there. Well, I would know that if I knew what the fucking outcome was, but I don't. You see it live. Where did it come from? Well, it was very simple. It came from this chart. It'll always be this one. This is where you get your signal. So you take your signal on the hour and you enter on a 15 or a 5. And then you look back at the hour or a 15 to get out. I had it fully planned, knew what I was doing. And I was working on this drive. Now it is topping out at the moment, but the criteria was between the 2 points, and as long as it stayed between that line and that line, the crux of it was moving up, I was going to buy it. Drop it down into 15 minutes so I can monitor. There is your point of pain. If I was wrong, that's where I get out. And the fact that I stage down into these things, it actually works out very good on the fabled RR, if that's what you're looking for. But it's a different process. It's a process called ROI. return on investment. You're investing X amount in the market to get X amount out. You're not trying to book the figures. Okay, so that's what we're doing. We've got nothing left. All my tickets are off, and that trade has produced me 273 quid. Now, you might turn around and say, well, you killed a couple of trades and one thing, another. You're right, I did. Because I'm also managing trades as I'm working. And why? Because nothing is perfect. You've got to manage what you're doing. And one of my rules, which you'll see here, when it hits 200 plus, stop. I filter it down into one section at a time. Bang, 200, I'm done. And that's it. So that was today's trade. I keep these running. Do support the channel, you know, like it, share it to your friends. The more likes it gets, the more visible it gets. Very, very simple. And cost you nothing, but it means a lot to me. So as always, guys, trade well, keep your risk managed, but above all, do what you love and the money will follow. See you all in the next one.